Mm.
Hello. Should I do like a whole intro thing and whatnot? I haven't
I mean, we
before.
haven't done one
Okay.
before, so
You need a theme
Yeah.
song.
Oh, what do Eden? Do you need a
Mm.
theme song? Did you need to do a theme song for us?
I mean,
Have you all heard the Dirtman song?
I love the German.
Why do I like that so much? That is such a
Right?
quintessentially Steven-oriented thing, and so much of that makes me like scratch my head. But that one legitimately just
Mm.
cracked
It's
up.
stuck in your head for hours.
Days.
It's
My poor
true.
wife.
It's true. Oh,
see, I'm no longer a cool kid. I don't get to keep up with the tic tacs and.
I think I might have actually sent that to you, Steven, instead of the other way around. I could be
That's
wrong.
certainly possible.
Yeah, it's bizarre. At
I
any
follow
rate,
I watch all of his stuff because he is just a delight. A weird delight, but a delight.
am I shocked that you watch a weird, delightful person?
get off my
Um,
lawn. My back hurts.
um, so yeah, if anybody would like to share what their characters remembered from last go round, you are welcome to, and I can fill in some gaps as needed.
Um,
Do you-
we
do-
we went weave walking. We went to a party. We gave
Yeah,
weapons of mass destruction to mice.
Yeah, that
not
was a thing you
yeah,
did.
a freaking mech suit.
Yep,
Mhm.
Like you have
yep,
changed the political situation on the entire
Yeah.
continent.
yes, you
Well,
have.
you've essentially started Gundam for mice.
Yeah,
For mice specifically.
At very
Nobody
least,
else on this particular plane has Gundams, but mice do now.
at very least, no cat is safe.
no.
At very least.
Yeah,
Oh,
see, I
Lashland.
thought that like the tie up for Paul's story would be he would travel to their town or their city to then help defend the city for them for the rest of his life. But now they Paul's not needed anymore. Like
Now, I only gave them five. I only gave them five, and
And blueprints.
the blueprints for how to
like,
print their own.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, surely they
God.
don't have an inquisitive, smart rodent creature that
Yeah,
lives with
they're
them.
gonna like mess up the like snake and cat population, and we're gonna have to go back and like take it from them. Like they're part of the ecosystem. They gotta be here.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole Imogen thing, that might be cold dead hands sort of situation.
Mhm.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes. But yeah,
Yeah.
so there were mouse mech suits at a dinner party.
We found how many of the things do we have to destroy? There's like is it five places?
Seven.
Seven of them. And so
Ba, ba, da, ba.
and who is it that they're sending some people to go explore and get some more information for?
So
Mhm.
you have not had this meeting yet, but there is an upcoming meeting um, before you get to go to your first place that has been marked as like the spot you want to explore. Um,
And did we
that
decide
will
which one that was?
what?
Library.
The library first?
That was at least what you were talking about.
Well, Paul's going to be super excited about that.
Just wait
Oh,
until you get there, my friend.
it's an interesting place. Uh, so yeah, there's a meeting where an inventor is going to be present who might be able to help you destroy these things as you find them. Also, might be able to offer some limited assistance with anti-magic fields that you might have to get creative in how you use to be able to transport these things. We'll see. And there are two other teams of people that will have representatives there so that there is the capacity to split off, divide and conquer if that is the decision that gets made. So that is a meeting that is upcoming. Um, Yes.
And there was fire wine,
There was fire
uh,
wine.
and a bunny with
Yep.
fire dragon powers.
Yep. Paul got a bunny drunk off of a fire wine, and now the bunny thinks that he might be partially kin to a dragon, or that Paul is magical enough to make him a tiny dragon. His name is Piff. And now you have awakened the adventuring spirit of this tiny fire-breathing, occasionally bunny.
Piff the magic dragon.
Piff the magic bunny. Yep. It's true. Eden was a sad boy, a whole lot.
Yep.
And still hasn't really done very much to address any of that. So
I came prepared.
nice prop, nice use of prop there.
It's such a cool bottle. We found it at Costco.
Oh,
It was supposed to
cool.
be like a non-alcoholic wine. It is no longer that because we drank that. It is now water with a little bit of lemonade flavoring in it.
I thought you were just going to say we left it long enough that it fermented and became actual alcoholic wine.
That's dangerous.
So apparently, Clearly Canadian is back. I saw it at Costco the last time I was there.
Huh.
Haven't thought about that in years.
Yeah.
Huh. Weird.
I almost got some and decided against it.
My past just came flooding into one ear somehow. I
Yep.
don't know. Not that good, but now I just want some. Okay.
Yes, but it's
like
memories.
nostalgia.
Memories of going to the ball field and watching Double-A ball, because that's where we got it.
I do not have those memories.
It's where we got it, anyway.
So yeah, I'm trying to think if there are any other broad stroke
what?
things. Yep, you had the bunny. Paul killed a plant by barfing into it.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, I did throw open a plant.
Yep, that was shortly before the wine incident. Yep, Eden sad boying. Oh, you were able to convince Scylla to stay and come to the meeting. She was not intending on like setting the world on fire or anything like that, but she figured she would be too much of a distraction to Eden for him to actually be functional as a part of the group, since he was such sad boy. But with other groups going, she is at least willing to entertain the notion if it seems appropriate.
I thought about this after the last game. If like this was your attempt to try to like lighten your workload, keeping up with NPCs, and then I just convinced Scylla to stay on.
It happens a lot.
The Scylla part was largely actually brought on by Eden's reaction to learning what he was, which had nothing to do with me and was completely Steven's character design. But also, I don't know how the whole thing with Eric's gonna go yet. So I like, I know that, well, yeah, we'll get there. We'll figure that part out. There are ways that they could divest themselves from the group, maybe, and then like come back together for RP things. We'll find out if that actually happens, or if you drag them along kicking and screaming and they might die. I don't know.
See, yet another reason why Danny is such a nicer DM than I am. That's
Yeah.
what I do with your NPCs.
He kills them.
They die.
You get
If you get a party member, if you get an NPC and you want them to join your party,
snacks.
they're not going to survive.
No.
They are not adventurers. They do not have abilities. They,
So that's the problem. You guys keep meeting people that are. So, yeah, it's okay.
if they make it more than 2 sessions, I plan on making you attached and then taking them out in a really sad situation.
I mean, if one of these two goes down, it's probably going to be a pretty sad event. But
Everybody,
Yeah.
so yeah, did I miss anything else? Are we missing?
I think I'll step up.
I wrote a to-do list. We need to talk to Arabella because
That's right.
we need help from the Seven Sons.
And you are also going to set up a meeting with her and see you.
See you. And then we need to talk to Ren about Pyron.
Oh, to kind of check in on him.
Well, because Ren was injected with the same poison that Pyron's been injected with, and he survived. So,
Survived is a really loose term.
well, I mean, he's breathing.
He is now. He was not when they got it out of him. They literally like cut him up and took out every vein in his body to extract it, and then
Gory and
revived him.
Yep. It was a terrible, gory,
Sorry.
awful thing.
It was not a pretty process.
No. There were many NPCs that were left scarred for life after that one, and PCs as well. Yeah. Alrighty. So, assuming that we left off kind of the after party. Oh yeah, you took a couple of your Nimish friends out to party
Right.
after the
Clubbing.
fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys went clubbing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So after the evening has kind of wrapped up and whatnot, you guys can kind of find your way back to where it is that you intend on laying your head tonight. I'm assuming that this is going to be back at the castle, but I don't know your life. You can tell me if you're going someplace else. Paul
No.
might have curled up on the...
Yeah, I think Paul and Eden both fell asleep on the grass with the rabbit.
Yeah, but I think we got dragged
I
up.
said, I think me and Eric dragged you guys back.
Yeah. So
That's right.
so we're back in the room.
Yeah.
So I think I'm curled up with the bunny.
Oh, Eden also learned that Paul could speak with animals finally after you
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
around him. So yeah,
I don't know if Eden actually remembers that though, with his
maybe not.
consistently inebriated as he has been.
That is fair. Teffin, where are you going to be? Are you going back to the ranch?
Yeah, I will escort my Nimish friends back to their quarters after the dancing and whatnot that we've done, and then I will head back to whatever rooms have been provided for us and splash out in the tub
As one does.
as one does.
So you're odoing. Is there anything anybody wishes to do with their like overnight time? Okay.
I accidentally crushed the bunny in my sleep.
No.
What?
Nothing. I just
He
pulled
rolls
Greg
over and
I
smothers
No.
the bunny.
crushed the bunny in my sleep.
No.
I probably don't weigh enough to crush the bunny, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean your sword might, but you yourself, I don't know. He's a reasonable sized bunny. He's an adult bunny.
Yeah.
He'd probably just like squirm and manage to wriggle his way out. Might not be
Bite
happy.
you until you moved.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys sleep through the night. I guess Eric will probably insert himself wherever he can where there is a free bed, and try to give Eden his space. And you guys wake the next day knowing that there is a midday meeting with all of these people that you had been talking to or were going to be talking to. Is there anything that you would like to do with your time before that occurs?
Paul will go down to the kitchens to get food before anything else happens.
There will
Eden is-
certainly...
Oh, sorry. Eden is not going anywhere. He is not accustomed to drinking. And
Oh,
so,
no.
with as much as he was drinking, he's like flat on the floor, pillow over his face.
Fair. That's fair. Let's see what...
Are we in the
Eric's
same
thoughts
room?
are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the only alcohol I have on me is the fire breath liquor, the one bottle that didn't get opened. So I actually hand you my flask of water and say, "Hey, this will help."
And this is water from the spring.
Yeah, I have no idea what this water is. You just told me that it's magical. Um, I just filled it up to fill up my flask with water.
Fair enough. Yeah. So if you take a big swig of the water, no.
Yeah, I don't think Eden thinks he can hold anything down right now.
Oh, that is unfortunate. So yeah, Eden still feels like shit. Uh,
He did not
and
improve his condition.
nope, nope. Um,
That feels great. He's hungry.
yeah, Paul, there is a very lovely scent coming from the kitchens. Um, very much not a surprise to you given the way that you have been fed since being here.
This
Um,
is this has been the best, the best food Paul's ever had.
there will be a couple of like pixies that are darting and diving here and there as you leave the room and head towards the kitchens. But there is already an effort being made to kind of set the table for something for people like to kind of come and go. Since they're preparing food for a larger gathering later, this is going to be a little bit more of a casual breakfast. For any of the people staying here, there might be something specific being done for the Nimish and things to that effect. But for the most part, it's kind of a as people wake up, they can serve themselves and things like that. So there's a pretty healthy spread already, and it's keeping on coming. So
Is Piff with me? Do I bring Piff?
you can.
Yeah, I'll bring Piff with me and just chat with him as we're walking down the hallway to the food, so he can join me to eat.
Awesome. He is excited about being this much in the castle. This is the farthest inside the castle he has ever gotten.
Yeah, well, we're just hanging out, gonna have some breakfast together. Me and my buddy Piff.
Awesome. Is there anything you're talking to him about specifically?
Nah, just kind of early morning chit chat. You know, ask him about his family and things he's done. Talk to him about some of the adventures I've been on. You know,
Cool. You gather that he lives in a place that is oftentimes quite enveloped in magic. He talks fondly of the people that own the cottage, and their daughter, and really is quite fond of them. But apparently, they also seem to attract a lot of very odd happenings. So you get little bits and pieces of things that to a normal person would sound very, very unusual and probably quite dangerous. To Paul, eh,
Tuesday.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, so, yeah. You guys get to have some good breakfast. Demira looks at you a little bit oddly when she realizes that you are actively feeding a bunny, but doesn't question it. Just kind of goes on about what she's doing.
That is the correct answer.
Yeah, just I think that she has figured out by this point in time that asking questions would probably not be a good idea for her in this situation. She doesn't often feel awkward around people. She feels real awkward around Paul and has no idea what to do with that fact. Thea, are you doing up to anything in particular with your morning?
I guess just checking to make sure that nobody died of alcohol poisoning through the night.
There is an Eden sprawled on the floor, apparently. It's nice and cool down there.
Have a potion of hydration if you think that will help you.
Mm-mm.
I don't have much in the way of healing, unless you were dead. So,
So if I kill you,
I can kill you and then stabilize you,
make you better.
and then maybe you'll come back better.
Maybe don't bring me back.
Sorry, dear. That's not an option right now.
Looking up Eric's spells to try and remember what he has.
So I'll just go get him a full washcloth and like some water and be like, you need to try to drink this. I should have something.
You have a healing stone, don't you?
I've got a healing stone.
I guess that doesn't do restoration.
Oh no, it's mass cure wounds.
Also, maybe don't waste it on
On a hangover.
on Eden.
You still haven't had an actual reason to end up cursed by it, so that's one of these days.
I don't know that it's cursed. That's the problem. Let me look up cure wounds.
You wouldn't have to worry about it if you didn't try to steal it from Paul.
I didn't try to steal it from. I don't remember. Y'all. We've been playing this game for 4 years. We started this game in 2020.
Really?
The end of 2020. I was just looking through my notes.
Huh.
It was like November.
Goodness.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, man. Like that was not too long after the actual game that we played before. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
it doesn't cure wounds. It just gives you hit points back. It doesn't say anything about like poisons and stuff.
Yeah. No, you need at very least a lesser restoration.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well,
yeah,
builds character to get through a hangover, so.
exactly. This is how he learns what not to do.
I mean,
he's never
he
had
didn't
one
know before.
Yep. So yeah, Eden, you are hung over terribly. Like Eric tries to kind of massage your shoulders and your temples a little bit to try and help with the obvious headache, but it doesn't really help much. Not something that seems to do well for you. But bless his heart, he tries. So I'm assuming that you would not be interested in food.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I see. Maybe I can find something that would be useful.
It's fine. I'll be ready by the time we have our meeting. It'll be fine. Thank you, though.
Right. You can kind of tell he still desperately wants to figure out what the hell happened because he still doesn't actually know any of the things. But seeing you in your really, really unpleasant state, he doesn't push it. Just kind of stands and wraps a blanket around you on the floor. I'll be back in to check on you shortly.
Did Thea tell Eden that she went and talked to Scylla? I don't remember.
Mm-mm.
You don't know that she's going to be at this meeting?
Nope.
Okay.
Eden was down with Paul getting very drunk. So.
Okay.
I think it might have been brought up that she had been kept from leaving when you guys talked to Estelle, but yeah, I don't think that it was brought up that she was going to be at the meeting.
Okay.
So she knows he'll be there. Vice versa does not apply. All right, bathtub boy.
Yeah.
Anything specific?
I will probably pull myself together, and now that the big project with the NIMBY is done, or for the NIMBY,
I feel
That's a
that.
cute face.
for the NIMBY is done, I will probably move on to one of my other projects. So I've got a couple more that I haven't completed yet.
Got
Probably would have made sure that I had some leatherworking materials and go to work on the belt harness for Paul.
awesome. That one probably won't take much more than like a day to
Figured.
get that one knocked out. So, depending on what the schedule ends up looking like after your lunch meeting and when you decide to depart, like you could at least have half of it done by then. So
Okay.
that works.
I can't wait
If you
to be
would
able to
like,
pick up Ron.
you can like roll me a whatever.
Leatherworking with a +7 comes out to a 22.
Nice.
Is looking real good.
Right.
He's gonna have an awesome leather harness.
Also, Keith, congratulations on your first roll of tonight not being like a natural one.
Right?
I feel
Thank
like
you.
you've gotten way more than your share of those.
Yeah.
Jason,
Uh-huh.
you said something that layered
Oh,
over everybody else's.
I'm sorry, I said way to break the cycle.
Yeah, chain breaker right there. Good man. Good man. All right, so we've got an eating Paul. Eric and Thea apparently kind of cut loose from Eden at the moment, given the fact that Eden is just Eden is face planted onto the floor. So yeah, you guys are able to kind of do what you need to through the morning. Are there any specific things once you have taken care of or done what you can to take care of your resident drunk Thea that you wanted to do before the meeting?
I guess I need to try to talk to Arabella before the meeting, or I can try to just grab her after the meeting about CU.
Either or, you've got some time if you wanted to.
Sure. Yeah, if I could go find her. Do I know where she resides?
You don't right off, so she does not live here. She is being kind of nursed back to health after having a rough go. And so she is still staying here, but she does not live here. So she's somewhere in the castle, you can probably imagine. But at this particular juncture, you are unsure where.
I'll cast Sending.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that's thinking with all cylinders.
Hi, Arabella. It's the hope you're well. Can I talk to you for a minute before this meeting? There's a boy you might be interested in. Well, is that 20?
That was 26.
Was that 26? I lost count. Okay, I thought it was
There's a boy you may be interested.
interested.
So you get back this feeling of confusion for a moment, followed by, I don't know if I'm on the market, but it's I can meet you downstairs. So yeah.
And I head downstairs.
Alrighty.
I love Sending. It's the best spell.
So you go down, and Eric will just kind of follow you because he doesn't know where Ren is right at this particular juncture, to follow him around, and everybody else is kind of doing their own thing. So she meets you down in the grand hall, there at the front of the castle. Um, she's looking much better than when last you saw her. Um, Mostly back healed. She just looks tired. She looks like she's still just kind of recovering from some levels of exhaustion, probably. Um, and is doing much better in general. Kind of wrapped up in casual robes, that look borrowed, and seems a little bit perplexed about a lot of different things. Trying to figure out what your message might have meant. So yeah, you two are able to kind of see her. There is the smell of delicious breakfast foods from the other room. So, and probably the sounds of a ferociously eating Paul.
Ew.
Just
I
Sorry,
don't want to know what those sounds are.
probably not.
I'll say to Arabella, sorry if my message was a little confusing. I lost my word count. But I wanted to talk to you about a young man that I met, that I think you would be interested in meeting. That was the word I was trying to get to. You want to grab some breakfast and we can talk about it?
Absolutely. I'm famished.
Let's go grab some breakfast.
Great.
Sorry, I have to look at my notes. See you is whose kids? Whose kids?
So,
Ren
Tanae's and
and-
Ren.
That's
Yes.
okay. And his mom, Tanace, was the one that figured out that Eric was Ren's son as well, right?
Yeah. She probably had the first clue of anybody, which is silly, but nobody could roll for crap.
Guys, I'm so sorry. I promise that
Don't be sorry.
As she's walking into
life is
the room,
crazy.
Paul is like in the middle of a story of one of his adventures or one of his battles, and it is a rowdy story. He is knocking food off the table, and whatever mead or drink that is available is being spilled as he is like animating the story. So Danny, I didn't hear what you said.
Was all of that to Piff?
Yeah, it's a pip. So I'm doing it. I'm saying the story in bunny speak, but
Yep. That is why I asked. Okay, so it probably looks like you're having a really odd seizure. Because the things that you are saying are not actually tangible words. That's fabulous. So as you guys walk into the dining room, Arabella's eyes just kind of get really wide as she's seeing Paul standing on the table, very wildly illustrating his story and speaking bunny.
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah, Eric just laughs.
He speaks funny. I know.
Oh, okay. That actually makes a lot more sense and makes this way less weird. I mean, it's still weird, but it makes it way less weird.
Mhm.
Interesting.
What's
So
gonna be? Sorry, go ahead.
I'm assuming we should sit away from the splash zone.
Yeah.
Good.
She'll kind of skirt the table the long way. And there is like a large collection of treats and goodies and all of that. Demira is also kind of tucked in the corner in the back, kind of watching all of this and kind of she's giggling at the storytelling. It's not for sure, but she may actually understand some of this here and there. So at least somebody's being entertained by something other than a like bizarre seizure. So
There's a solid possibility that Bunny is about to be our 6th companion.
Oh, gosh, no.
well, now I know the NPC that I can absolutely tear Paul's heartstrings out with.
It does breathe fire.
When he's drunk.
Oh goodness.
Well, you look like you're feeling a lot better.
Oh, so much. I've been in to see Pyron a couple of times. He looks like he's starting to feel. Well, I mean, the bar was pretty low, but he at least looks a little bit more human than he did before. Yeah, I'm doing much better. The broken ribs and all of the other rough things are pretty much back to normal now. It's just I got so tired and so spent trying to keep him from totally losing his mind that I'm still kind of in the process of getting all of my magic and energy battery back.
Is she
So-
the one who owned the store that we went to that had the little creatures?
Yep.
Yeah, 'cause we all rolled terrible and had no idea what happened, but you talked to like mice or something.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was like, I don't know why in my head I see a niffler, but it's not a niffler.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
It's a
not
nifter.
the one that had the dragon things that Keith has now, or the bugs that.
No, it was the
but
little
the other
clockwork,
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, do you know who Rin and Tanace are?
Familiar with them?
They have a son. I think he's about 15-ish years old. Named Siu. That can see the future.
Really? I've known Siu, but I haven't seen him in ages, of course, but I didn't realize that he was a foreseer. So
I don't remember how I came to have this knowledge, but I figured it out. And I think he's struggling a little bit just with maintaining control and figuring out how to use, those abilities. And I told
Fair.
Tanaeus that I had a friend that I could reach out to, somebody that could maybe give him some guidance.
absolutely. You know, the funny thing, I met them ages ago and they're sweet people, but I don't know that they actually ever realized that I was a foreseer myself. So that's I'd be happy to see if I could help him out. Because, man, puberty sucks, but it sucks a lot worse when you also have to deal with premonitions and past reflections from past that aren't yours. It's unpleasant. So I could see how that would be something that he could use a little guidance with. Good kid, though, if I remember right. So I feel like I feel like that would be something that would be a very good use of my time since I happen to be here anyway. And I would feel kind of bad at this point trying to get out in a hurry before I know that Pyron's taken care of and feeling more like, a person.
Mhm.
A little less like whatever it is he's feeling like now.
Well, and the other thing, apparently Rin has also had the same affliction that Pyron has.
Oh God, yeah. That yeah. He's come a long way. I'm trying to remember if she was actually around before all of that. No, she came into the thing after, but she at least knew how crusty he was.
It's
He's gotten better. Yeah, I heard some stories early on. For a long time, I just thought that they were kind of fake. But yeah, honestly, it makes a lot of his behaviors make a lot more sense. I bet he's really, really glad for his whole weird Wonder Twin thing with Callan. That's a really helpful thing. That might have been the only thing that kept him from going completely feral himself. I don't know.
I think it saved both of them more than one.
Oh, goodness, yes. Over and over again, from what I can understand. But yeah, that does make sense. I wonder. Hmm. I don't know what kind of advancements have been made on how to treat that because so few people lived through it to begin with. But hopefully, this is gonna be way easier than it used to be to cure. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me that that was the thing that was afflicting him. Freaking Celestials. She just kind of like rolls her eyes. I will never understand the way that that entire government decided to operate, but it's better now than it was. So. But yeah, I'd love to see if I can help you and work with him to hone some of the weirdness going. That's being a fortune teller can be a really, really awesome thing. And sometimes it can be really scary and hard to deal with.
Is it? I don't think anybody in their family is like. Is it passed down through family lines, or is it just you just get it if you get it?
So I'm not completely sure, in every way at least, in every sense of the word, because I think it kind of can work a little differently from person to person. There is a family line wherein it is a genetically predisposed thing. Um, the the mother witch's children are mostly foreseers, so any of Baba Yaga's young are generally foreseers. There have been a couple of oddballs in that, but the rest of us, I think we're kind of anomalies, but based on maybe like how our connection to magic manifests. Um, there's some amounts of it that I think might be tied to proximity to natural moon gates. During early years of being raised or maybe your birth. I'm still trying to put some of it together. I've been researching this kind of on the side a little bit. It's not my main focus of study. But genetics seems to be a one-line thing. So for most of us, it is not a genetic component, although what access we have to magic through our genetics can help, if that makes sense. I think we're kind of anomalies, and I'm still trying to pinpoint the common denominators that would kind of give me an idea of what made us anomalies. So it's an interesting thing and can be quite useful at times. It's gotten me out of quite a few pinches. Granted, it's also gotten me into quite a few. But, you know, I guess that's life. You do what you can with what you've got to work with, and sometimes you've got a whole head full of other people's thoughts to work with.
Some
Sometimes.
I don't think I would be able to handle it. So I'm glad that that is not my burden to bear.
You'd be amazed what you can do if you know you have to. Didn't really get a choice in the matter, so might as well have a good attitude about it, right?
That's amazing.
Oh my gosh, I forgot how good the food is here.
Way better than what we eat scrounged up when we're on the road.
Same, my word. And I mean, the boats do pretty well, but this is so much better than boat food. Ah, anything else there?
I don't think so. Just eat. After we finish up, I'll try to get like some toast or something and see if we can bring that up to Eden.
Oh,
Paul looks like he's doing fine. Guess we'll check in with Teffin. Teffin, did you use the message jewelry? Are you in one piece?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. Working on a little something for our diminutive axe-wielding friend.
like
Since,
Imogen?
since I don't want to say it like out loud.
Paul's like, what? What?
Well, there's breakfast. Now we've got a meeting at lunch. Paul's talking to a bunny.
Wait,
And
what?
Eden might have alcohol poisoning.
I'll be right down. Give me a second.
While she's doing that, Paul finishes up his story and says in Bunny, we should probably go bring some food to Eden. What's the nastiest, like most gut wrenching thing that on the table?
By itself, none of this would be nasty.
Right.
But
But just like the look of it doesn't look like it would sit well on a person with a hangover.
okay. So there is what looks to be like a jam that in context looks like it would be lovely because it's kind of served with little toasties, like your little bruschetta kind of toasts. But it is something akin to like orange marmalade with green chunks of something in it.
Okay.
So it is like
Ew.
it's kind of grody looking by
I grab
itself.
I grab some bread and I throw on some meat, some runny eggs if there's some runny eggs, some cheese, like if there's like a real stinky blue cheese that's there or something like that, like
Yeah,
a few of
sure.
that. And then I take a big old handful of that stuff and I just dump it on the sandwich, and it's just like literally dripping in my hand, like. And we're gonna carry that to Eden so he can get some food, some
Somewhere
sustenance.
behind you, Callan is like, "The hell is this trail?" Prestidigitating the whole way.
Following you all the way back up to the room.
So I am heading directly for Eden's room.
Oh, I think we're in the same room because we all share like the adjacent space next to the
Oh,
NB. I think, right?
well, okay. In that case, I'm gonna poke my head out of the bathroom after having pulled myself together. Eden, you okay?
And as soon as he says that, boom, the door gets kicked right open as Paul walks in with this greasy, gross sandwich. Eden, here you go. I got some food for you, and I just lay it in his lap.
And at that point, I'm just gonna like run right over, put my hand on Eden's shoulder, and cast Lesser Restoration.
Hold on one sec. I gotta see how this goes. So I would like for you to roll me a dex to see how quickly you can get over there. And Eden, I would like for you to roll me a con save.
Let's see how this goes.
Okay, so just a dex roll.
Yes.
Yeah, decent. Oh,
Or a dex save, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have
I
a
have a
point of
decent
exhaustion when
con.
you're hungover? How's
I
this
mean, I
game?
don't know that it matters. I have a
Immediately
decent con, but I rolled a 1, so.
Oh, oh, oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, you're not fast enough.
Oh, but you might be fast enough to catch it.
Probably.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm coming up behind him, I assumed.
Oh yeah, Paul's fast. When I recognize there's about to be vomit, I use dash and full speed to get out of the way. I'll use all 95 feet of my movement.
So Paul is
As
currently in
dog's
another
that.
zip code. That's amazing. Yeah, so Eden tosses all of the cookies.
I mean, I don't know that I had that many cookies to start
Ooh.
with because I think I skipped dinner the night before too.
Oh, you
Well,
did.
So that was like alcohol on an empty stomach. And
Oh man.
at very
Yep.
least, this will make you feel better. Lesser restoration.
thank you.
So now you feel much better, but you're also covered in vomit and weird greasy sandwich stuff.
I'll clean this up. Have a good breakfast or something. And he's just gonna like use his sleeve and try to start wiping stuff up so that he can go clean up in a second.
Oh, like Eric just like pitifully goes, "Oh," and reaches down to help you try and scoop stuff up.
Where's Paul? Paul should get in on helping clean this up.
I don't think you'll be able to catch him.
Paul ran out of the room.
Paul might be out of the castle at this point.
I saw a tiny gnome-shaped blur go that way.
Hmm.
It's our gnome blur.
Yeah, I'm taking Piff back to his home. You
And
just say what you
I
gotta
will
go.
clean up. I will clean up both my mess and myself before I go anywhere else.
Plan. Eric will offer to help because he doesn't know what else to do. It's as awkward as it sounds.
I am trying to decide if I was still wearing the cloak of feathers that Paul gave me.
Oh no.
Probably not.
Might need some dry cleaning if so. That is okay.
Paul probably wouldn't notice.
Also true. But yeah, you managed to get cleaned up and whatnot. So Piff on the way back down, she's like,
I've never been this fast before. This is amazing. I love everything about this. Can I go adventuring with you?
It's real dangerous, buddy.
I mean, I'm a fire-breathing dragon, buddy.
You know, that's a good point.
Well, I could be useful.
I mean, if you want to come along, I got no problem with it.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be an adventurer, buddy. Yeah.
How many hit points does a bunny have?
Oh, probably none.
like
a
a one.
quarter of a
Yeah.
hit point, yeah. Like one hit, and this bunny's gone.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure, Piff. If you want to come with, I don't have any problem with it.
This means that I need a sword and a shield, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever used a sword before?
I don't know how. I don't know how to. How do I?
He kind of like reaches out and tries to like grab something.
It's all right. Here, I'll teach you. You take this little axe, and I put a hand axe on the ground, and I pull out Arboretum. I said, "We'll spar, and I'll teach you how to fight."
Oh dear.
He's gonna die right here.
This is how he goes.
I can't. I can't.
He keeps trying to like paw at the hand axe to try and hold it, and he can't pick it up.
Okay, hold on one second.
No thumbs.
I think he would make a better monk than a barbarian.
You have weird paws. I don't know how to make my paws do the thing that your weird paws do.
We could tie it to you.
That might work.
All right, I try to tie a hand axe to this bunny.
How, like, I guess roll me. I don't roll me a bunny
Survival?
tying check. What's a bunny tying check? I guess
Survival, maybe?
yeah, survival would make sense.
Okay. That's a 7.
So for a second, it looks like it's gonna be an okay job of tying it up there, and then like he kind of stands up on his hind legs, huzzah, and it falls off.
Oh,
And then it comes to me. I know what we need to do.
what do I need to do?
I have a friend of mine who can build something. Get the title just right.
Bunny mech suit.
What was that?
I said, I got a friend of mine who can help. I was like, I scoop him up.
Huh?
So, and I run back to the room.
Paul, what did you put on me?
So, yep. And so we're going back to the room.
Oh, yep. There is a like Eden and Eric are cleaning up Eden.
Okay, Tevin, is Tevin still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Tevin, I need your help. I hand you the bunny. This is Piff. Piff wants to go on the adventures with us. We need to strap, and I pull out the hand axe. This to him, so he can fight with us. He can breathe fire.
He stands on his hind legs and it doesn't work, but he tries real hard.
Not seeing a lot of fire breathing going on.
Oh no! I have to give him this first, and I pull the bottom.
It's no, yes. Yep.
So
But
he wants
it's
to come on the adventure.
It's
So
a bunny.
his name is Piff.
It the Nimish at least can talk.
So can Piff.
Alright, let's see if I remember for it.
Piff, say hi.
Hey,
You're
Nope, that's
Hey.
nope.
So what are you? What do you want? And I'm gonna hand Piff back to you.
It's like we need, and I'm holding Piff up. We need to get this axe on this bunny.
Eden's gonna look up from his puke-stained clothes and just be like,
Don't tell me you're buying into this.
I'm pretty sure it was talking last night.
You were drunk last night.
That is very true.
I mean, he talks to your horse.
Excuse me?
Talks to your horse.
On a semi-regular basis. You knew this. Remember you told him off when we were outside of the temple to death.
The thing is, I think the horse talks back. I don't speak the language, so I can't say for certain, but there certainly seems to be a back and forth that happens.
Language barrier or something.
Bet that's why that horse doesn't like me.
What a callback! I forgot that I had that conversation with Quinn.
Eric looks over at you and then has to like stifle actively a laugh. Like,
My skull. I forgot about that.
Hmm.
I mean, if you're busy, I can probably find someone else to stick it. That's what we can do.
It's not that.
You can do it to me.
I'm just not sure that an axe wielding bunny is gonna be.
Oh, okay. I see. I understand.
I'm afraid that you're gonna send him off into battle, and he's gonna try to fight, and he's gonna get hit, and he's gonna get hurt, and he's gonna get dead.
Yeah, you got a good point. He doesn't really know how to use axes. You're right. We need a sword and a shield for sure. So, and then I pull out Arboretum. It's like, here, we'll use this, and then which the sword is bigger than me. We'll use this, and I'll go get a shield. And I drop the bunny in Arboretum, and I go run to wherever I can go to find a shield.
this is a terrible idea, isn't it?
Yes.
He doesn't really have many of the other kind.
That's fair, but also he has a lot of very interesting skill sets.
So I'm just gonna lean down to the bunny and just kind of look him in the eye, trying to get a sense of if this thing is actually sapient and able to make the choice that Paul is saying that he has made. What would you like from me to make this determination?
Insight check. Bunny insight.
Bunny insight. I have a +5 to my insight. This is going to
Get
be
advantage on all bunny checks.
hilarious. I rolled a 4.
Can I? How clearly focused are you, Keith?
I mean, I am down like nose to nose with this thing. I am
Okay, so
I am using everything in my changeling abilities to read this thing to decide if it is sapient, and I've lost so. Actually, here, let me do this real quick. I'm going to make what do I want this to be? I'm going to just make this a wisdom save for myself, and it rolled right off. Be a 13. Okay, so I still have control over my form, but not like I am so focused that it starts to slip a little bit, and the nose sort of flattens out and becomes sort of bunny-like, and the ears get a little bit longer. I don't go full furry, but there's definitely a little bit of rabbit sort of creeping into my features. But I don't sense anything from the rabbit.
Okay, since you are not paying attention to me anymore, over in my throw up covered stuff, I'm gonna do a little magic. We're gonna do minor illusion. So the rabbit is just gonna say, "Let me free."
Oh
Oh, you guys are making me lose my friend.
I don't want him to die.
Okay, so he doesn't want to be a fighter. He wants to be free. So so who all is in the room right now? Who all is in the room that's like not part of the core group?
Just Eric at this point.
Okay. So I'm gonna pick the bunny up and sort of turn to Eric. Says, "Can you like put him back in the gardens or wherever Paul found him, please?"
Is Paul going to try to run me through when I've
I
gone
mean,
missing with the bunny?
as long as he doesn't find out you're the one that took his bunny away, probably not.
Let's not tell
I
him
can
then.
just
Yeah,
I
I
can just
wasn't
tell
planning on it.
I'll just tell Paul that he had the prior engagement and that he had other dragon bunny things that he had to do.
Do you think he'll believe that?
Yes. Wholeheartedly he will believe that. I do feel bad lying to him, but he will believe me.
Eric is not fully sold that he is stupid enough to believe this lie, but he does like just kind of, oh, okay, then come along, Piff, and we'll take Piff back down to the gardens. There's now forever going to be a bunny standing at the top of that stairwell going, I want to go! So, yes, Eric will take the bunny back down to the gardens. So, when Paul re-arrives...
Oh, I'll make sure that Eric also takes the sword, at least temporarily.
Alrighty then.
You have to sell the story. It's
What
fine,
is the
Paul.
story? Oh, okay.
It's fine.
All right. Very well.
Well, I'm running down the hallway, and the first person I see that like works at the castle, I'm like running right up to him. Where do you keep your weapons?
Roll me a d4. Gonna run into...
2.
Okay. So, one of the very first people that you run into is a steel coming out of one of the rooms on the side. Like, of all the people that he could be that
That could
way
have been
with...
like Rex or something.
like, Estelle just kind of calmly will look down at you. Well, it would depend on which kinds of weapons you're referring to. All of our guard has weapons.
I need a shield.
Oh. I mean, we could certainly outfit you with a shield.
Yep, I need a shield. Where do I get one?
Come with me. He will kind of guide you down a long corridor and into a space that does not look like it should have anything behind it. And he'll have you pause for a second. He'll kind of size you up for just a sec with his eyes and... All right. You see him disappear behind this door that looks like it's just straight a stone wall. And when he comes back out, he will have a gnome-sized round shield. Like, this should be about the right size for you.
I pick it up, look at it, I bite it, just to see if it's strong. I'm like, does it work? Thank you. And I run back to the room.
Huh. I'm forever going to be curious about this odd little group of people. Kind of floats back along. This very regal posture, just very calmly looking on as you run back towards the other room. There is no bunny in the room anymore.
I got the shield.
Okay, Paul. And by this point, I imagine I've got most of it cleaned up. Peach said that he had some adventuring that he had to do. He said that he was very sorry he could not join us. But he will send your sword back as able.
Oh, okay then. And I just drop the shield.
thank you for the food. The thought was very sweet of you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I always eat after I drink. It makes me feel good.
You know, I think I might have to take up that habit, but I don't think I will be drinking again for quite a while. That was unpleasant.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Yeah. Well, I might go get some actual food now. I'm very hungry.
So about this point, Eric comes in looking very confused with your sword.
Oh, that was fast. He must have slayed his dragon or whatever quickly.
Oh, he's done already? Well, should we go get him so he can join us then?
I think that he said that he was going to be off on his adventure for a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. I know how that goes. All right, let's get some food.
All right. So yeah, you guys are able to go down and get some breakfast.
Second
we
breakfast.
saved the bunny's life.
Yes. Piff shall live to fight another day. Maybe. We'll see. So yeah, you guys get breakfasted and all of that good stuff. Um, you're able to finish a good chunk of Paul's harness. Keith, yeah, I think that is mostly it. Eden, you will know that like you'll notice maybe over the course of the morning that Eric looks quite distracted, kind of off in thought a good bit. But with you also being off in thought, I don't know if it would actually take. I'll let you kind of decide if that's something.
Eden is probably, I mean, in his own little. He's not trying to be self-centered, but like everything right now, he just assumes is his fault. So like, if Eric is feeling off, he's like, oh, it's because of me. Yeah, like
That
I
makes
ruined
sense.
everything.
That makes sense. Um, so yeah, uh, you guys are able to kind of navigate through the morning and do what you need to do. Unless there's anything else, we can kind of fast forward to as things begin to uh, wind you towards your lunchtime meeting.
That works.
Just before the meeting, he is gonna pull Eden aside and just, how you feeling? You looking good? You feel like you feel better than this morning?
Well, I mean, anything is better than this morning was. That was
Yeah,
one of the worst experiences of my life, and I've been almost dead before, so
fair enough. Okay. Don't be mad.
that's not a really good way to start, but
I
okay,
know.
I'm listening.
Don't be mad. So, like this meeting's really important, and we kind of have to save the world and all that stuff. So I went and talked to Scylla yesterday evening, and she's gonna come to the meeting to just see if there's something that she can do to help, with the world saving part of all of this.
I would not be angry.
Okay.
I understand. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Um, yeah, thank you.
I have a disguise kit. You want to like put some concealer on or something?
If I needed to do that, I have plenty. It's okay.
Okay.
Eric is just. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just going to look at Teth while they're talking with like Fruit and and say, "Who the heck is Scylla?"
Again. They had this conversation last time. I love it.
I'm not sure Teffin knows yet.
I mean,
Plus, I pulled Eden to the side. That wasn't in front of everybody.
Yeah, no, no,
okay,
I don't
okay.
think Teffin knows that they broke up.
No.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
It's like, that would be his girlfriend, I think.
But that you mean Thea? That's the only girlfriend that
No,
we have.
not Thea.
What do you think the arrangement is here?
You're a girl and you're friends.
All right, fair enough.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong, but you're also not right.
No idea.
That's okay. I'm not sure what you're talking about half the time either, so it works.
We have an arrangement.
We do.
Apparently, we're not sure what it is, but there is one. Eric's looking like between all of you, just like, what happened? Like, still just freaking killing him.
I'll mouth out.
Eden
Hold up
does
the
not
sign of a
notice.
triangle.
Yeah.
Triangle. Yeah. So the very lost Eric will just be kind of exasperated. Why on earth would he be upset with like her showing up to the meeting? He gets that they broke up, but he's still so confused about so many different things. So yeah, at least now it's not a complete blindside for Eden, so that's probably good. So let's see. Eden, are you restored to your like shiny kind of meticulous self by
Probably not all the way. Like, I think he probably actually would have put his armor on, as opposed to his usual like fancy clothes, because they probably smell like vomit at the moment.
fair?
So he's in his full armor, which is its own kind of flamboyant, but it is not his regular flamboyant.
Anybody who is in that space, which I think should be all of you, roll me a perception check.
I rolled an 8.
Is that including me, or is that
Yes.
aside from me?
Yes, you as well. Perhaps especially you. 23.
Unnatural 20.
Perception 18.
Okay. So Thea, you're the only one who actually notices anything.
How it always goes.
Ever.
Ever. Yep. Well, I didn't roll for Eric. Let me see if he does. Oh no, that's a nat one. Nope. So somehow you realize that one of the bells in Eden's stuff that he keeps so like meticulously shined and whatnot, one of the bells is gone. And you hear a little bit of a clink up in the far corner of the room. Barely. But you didn't see what happened.
But I hear a clink.
Yep.
No, shoot it.
Fireball!
Eldritch blast. Okay, I'm just. Can I investigate the corner of the room?
You can. You can indeed.
Uh, 8.
So you do see, because he rolled crap on that one, you do see like little paw prints up one of the walls, just a wee bit. That's all you see, and there are some beams up there. So there's definitely like this This place is clean enough. It's not very normal to see paw prints randomly up the wall.
I'm gonna send Archimedes up there to have a look, and at the same time, I'm gonna say, Eden, did you know you're missing a bell?
He just looks at you with this look of like,
Existential crisis.
yeah.
This day couldn't get worse.
So, are you looking through Archimedes' eyes?
Yep.
Okay. Up in the rafters, there is an abnormally large raccoon that has like his snout in the bell, kind of examining it and like ping 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 ping. And as you see this, Tix walks in with a couple of other people from the party that she would be in. So, yeah, there's your blue tiefling friend and what looks like a very large hedgehog and a tabaxi all coming in from the outside.
So Eden immediately is going into like a search pattern, trying to figure out like what could have happened because he's so careful with his bells. Like he's checking all of the straps. He's checking its connection into his armor.
Sorry, Eden.
They're
He
very
rolled
shiny.
real high. Yep, he rolled real high.
No, I think I found it. There's a raccoon in the rafters that has it.
Point. I am throwing my dagger immediately in the direction she's pointed into the dark part of the corner, and as it gets up close to the corner, as it gets up close to the corner, I'm casting plant growth to spring out from the handle of my dagger, where I have. I talked to you about this early on. Little seeds that I've put in there, and so it is going to be like spiky vines that just erupt out of the handle of this dagger.
So, I guess roll me an attack roll with disadvantage for the primary
So,
attack.
yeah.
What's the spread on the seeds?
Let's see. A 100-foot radius.
God. So you're all going to be covered in plant life.
Yep.
Okay, so no, it affects all of them within. Sorry, it affects all of them within 100-foot radius. So if there's any other plants in the room, they will be affected. Oh, I can exclude any one or more areas. Okay, so I'm actually going to exclude anything but the dagger itself. They become thick and overgrown. It doesn't give me any more specifics than that.
Huh.
But it slows a creature that moves through it 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot it moves.
Well, because
Plus-
of who he is, this will still work out well for you. So, what was your attack roll?
Oh, right. Sorry, I got distracted.
Well, I distracted you, so that's fair.
Okay, you said disadvantage, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so the lowest of those is 13.
Okay, so the dagger does not make contact with anything itself. But as plant growth erupts, you hear a and as the sound happens, you see a stone still raccoon just kind of freeze and flip off of the rafter in a bit of a mess of plant life, like moss ball kind of a thing, and just kind of lay dead on the floor.
Eden is then immediately drawing his sword.
Tix looks over. Wait now. Wait. So yeah, that's one of ours. Sorry. There's a shiny thing problem involved with this. Ziffle! Ziffle! You see, like, this very dead raccoon. Kind of just an eye opens and looks over.
All
Get it?
rages, because we're in battle now.
Oh no. Give it back.
The moment I see my bell, he's grabbing it and backing like 10 feet back.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's a compulsion with him. It's always very easy to get your things back as long as you're on the same team. So, yeah, if anything shiny goes missing, check with Ziffel first. He has an entire treasure trove. But yeah, I'm sorry about that. He got a little bit ahead of us, and he's not supposed to do that. And like just seeing her, the look of her ire, he pretends to be dead again.
You are
Cleaning
not
my
a
bell.
possum, my friend.
Say that again.
Say, you are not a possum, my friend.
Actually, he's 1/4 possum. That's the part that informs these behaviors.
Gotcha.
So it's a
Wait,
weird
how does
family
that
dynamic.
work?
There are some things you don't want to know about your friends. This is one of those things. Just
You're
don't
right.
ask.
You're absolutely right.
But, it is at least handy when you need to get your stuff back. Stop stealing from friends. Okay. Sorry. He'll kind of
I do not have any way to get the vines to go back.
Like, just kind of like swimming out of this ball of vines. This is just now how Ziffel lives. This is his current appearance. He is Swamp Thing. So yes, you have now met Ziffel. So yes, people are beginning to come in from the outside, and she will introduce you to her crew. You got Ziffel the raccoon, Arton the hedgehog, and I forgot who the other person was.
Oh, I need to mark off my spell slot.
George.
Wait, George is here? Or is this a different George?
I kind of forgot that the other George was named George, so it should be a different name. But this is also a George, so we're just gonna, it's a common name there too. This one's actually female though, so Georgette or something like that. So yeah, there's a handful of people there so far, and it seems like there are some other folks kind of wandering in that are curious about the happenings in this space. Ren
Take my
does.
dagger back out.
Ziffel kind of comes over towards you and looks kind of ashamed of himself. Like,
I'm very sorry. I would like to make amends. This is part of my 12-step program.
And he hands you like a handful of gold coins.
Right.
You can't stay mad at him for that. Come on, Eden.
Eden is trying really hard to like change an outlook, but like.
Hey, Eden, do we need to kill this thing?
And Eden will he'll take the coins, but he does like he'll look over at Tix and be like, "Can I just give these to you? I don't."
She shrugs and if you want.
He'll just hand them to her and try to dig his dagger back out of the mess he made.
Do, do you need help?
No, thank you.
Okay. Sorry.
And kind of go back onto all fours and prance over to where the rest of the folks are. So, yes. There is a crew there. There are some other folks coming in. There's a really big guy in some pretty heavy armor that looks to be in his... Oh, what did we decide? He was in his 60s at this point, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
although he'd look still probably like he was in his late 50s. Along with Ren. There's a fellow that you can't quite tell how old he is. He looks at least kind of dwarven, which is actually kind of a rare build. You haven't seen oodles of dwarves. Like Wayland was one of the dwarfs that you've seen, but there have not been a lot of dwarves. But this fellow looks at least dwarf adjacent. You can't quite tell how old he is. He's got some fairly olive complected skin, a white, like a white beard with two kind of more peppery streaks to either side of his chin, and very like perfectly coiffed hair. When he smiles, his eyes kind of disappear into his wrinkles, and it sort of suggests to you that he would be probably like he's got to be above 70. Or whatever the equivalent in dwarf years would be. You're not totally sure, probably most of you, having not met them before. But he is hardy. He's not a fat man, but he looks like a very short brick wall. Like, he's stout. He's got some mass to him. And he moves a bit better than what you would assume from the look of the age of his face. Anthony, the tiefling who has helped before with the people in the castle, sees him and greets him with open arms, like giving him a really big hug. Kind of the footman for the castle that has prosthetics and whatnot. He'll give this man a giant hug when he comes in and do like the cheek kiss thing. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Fern would probably be there for this one. So there is a giant purple woman. She stands probably like close to 8 feet tall. She's bald and has like gilded tattoos over her head. Her eyes don't have pupils. They kind of look like iridescent storm clouds. And is dressed in pretty minimal armor. For someone this huge, it looks like she could potentially be pretty light on her feet. I think that's most of who you're expecting. So people are kind of wandering in at this point, and heading towards the dining room.
Oh, would Cassia be there? Cassia be there, rather? Sorry.
Actually, probably. Yeah, so there would be a shorter young woman, like early 20s-ish, that's kind of like tawny complected, wears her hair in braids, and like has a very, very kind of like a pep in her step sort of a movement. Kind of. trying to think of a good way to describe her as an adult. Uh,
That's
she's been stuck in kid mode in my brain for a really long time. Um, she has a lot of interesting accoutrements with her, like a reasonably large book satchel. She is dudded out in adventuring gear as though she has been out freshly, like doing things pretty actively, and has a notebook like already kind of out and ready to write to try and figure out what needs to be figured out. So, yeah, these are all people that you are seeing as things are moving inward.
Eden is probably now keeping a full, like, an arm over his bandolier.
Yeah, that's probably smart. Ziffel, anytime he sees this, is like, kind of curls in on himself. So Estiel at some point will stand tall. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind to join us in the dining hall, we will have lunch and discuss the different prospects that lay before us. And bring you all in. Once everyone is seated, he'll look about and gesture for everyone to kind of make themselves comfortable. As most of you have heard, we are here today to discuss the ideas of trying to procure and destroy the phylacteries of a certain Koschei the Deathless from the Smeraldi continents. Because there are so many, and they seem so uniquely challenging each in their own right, it seems a worthwhile endeavor to have multiple forces looking at these things at the same time. We have 7 different places that we are aware these things are hidden, and would like to call upon each of your expertise to serve where you are best suited to attempt to collect them. I suppose that introductions would be in order. And so, at this point, and yes, Scylla is there by this point as well, and is very pointedly trying to avoid any eye contact with Eden at all.
Eden is doing about the same.
Yep. She is very puffy-eyed and looks deeply uncomfortable. So he'll go around the table and introduce everybody. You learn that Ziffel, Arton, George, and Tix are all part of effectively a heist crew. When something needs to conveniently go missing, if something needs to be found, they are generally the group that does it. They are very resourceful and very sneaky-handed, particularly because of... What was that?
I said, "You son of a bitch, I'm in."
We got a heist crew. The old guard. You're introduced to Ren and the friend next to him, Claudius, who is the very large, heavily armored fellow. Actually, I'm not sure. armored he would be for this, but
It would not appear that he's probably because he's got the armor that changes
he's got the
appearance or
diplomat's
whatever.
armor on.
The
Yeah.
Dwarven man.
No, that is actually he is kind of on his own. He is not one of these guys, although apparently he knows all of these people. There were many greetings and whatnot. But Ren, Claudius, Cassia, and Fern, the very tall purple woman, all seem to be a part of an established crew as well, that are a little bit more combat oriented, or can be when needed, and seem to be a bit broader in scope than the heist crew. And then Isanji, your inventor, is the dwarven-looking fellow. And they will also introduce all of you to the best of their ability. Still not
And this
totally
is-
sure what to make of you.
Paul.
This is
Paul.
this is our barbarian friend Paul, the very talented bard Eden, the lovely Miss Thea, who has a great talent for magic, and Isanji, Teffin, sorry. I believe that you would find him incredibly helpful, Isanji, in many ways. You two are people who should know each other, I believe. So, I don't know what this accent is, guys. Sorry. Like, it's been a long day. And we'll make introductions. The entire time, like, Ren is kind of staring at Eric the whole evening, or the whole midday-ish, just kind of trying to gauge what's happening there, in his head. So I don't know if you would notice that, if you're just trying
Maybe.
to, yeah. If you'd like, you can roll me a perception and see anybody who would be doing that. Thea probably already knows.
He is clocking it. Yep.
Yeah, she gets it. She knows.
12.
12. I mean,
23.
I rolled an
Oh,
18.
oh,
Wow.
yeah, so Ren is looking at this fellow very intensely. Like trying to read his every thought.
I
Effectively.
like dig into his ribs a little bit to get Eric's attention. I say, I think he likes you. And I just point him out. I was like, he hasn't stopped staring at you since you got here.
Eric looks at you and just starts to like giggle under his breath. Like, I You know, while I think your interpretation might be slightly incorrect, generally speaking, I think you're spot on. Ren looks over at you just confused. He seems a bit more gobsmacked by Paul than Eric is by a long shot. But yeah, Eden, like, it's not a particularly subtle thing, so at this point you might actually start to be like noticing there's something odd here.
He'll file that away for later. Now is not the time.
There's a lot going on. All right. So in order to be able to best decide where our time is allocated, we also need to know what resources we have available. I have spoken with Claudius, and he has offered the use, when necessary, of the teleportation circles that could get us remotely towards some of the adjacent lands. teleporting into most of these places would not be safe or possible in many cases. Teleportation magic does not work in the library. I suspect that it would be quite dangerous to try to teleport all the way to the Black Mountains. That tends to be very unstable magic in that area. So we would want to get as close as possible and then walk in. And there are some areas that we just are less familiar with to know what safety liabilities there might be. The Erde Islands is still enough of a mystery for most of us that to assume it would be safe to try to teleport anywhere near to the well that was seen would be foolhardy. But given Claudius's connections, we do have access to places that are near-ish to many of these spaces should we need that. We have also called on a friend of the Seven Sons, who should be arriving soon. I expected that she would be here already, but sometimes she experiences unexpected delays. But one of the keepers for the Seven Sons has offered us limited use. Well, the Sun themselves has offered us limited use of their abilities in our effort to transport.
Paul. So he'll just, Eden will sort of whisper like, "Hey, you should get off that watch thing."
Oh, this thing?
Yeah, just like keep an eye on it. I'm curious to see.
I get like really into it and just I'm tearing it down.
There is more movement than there usually has been. Like there is one of the spheres, the circles on it seems to be like shifting and spinning much faster than it has been. And as you look, it seems to be gradually speeding up.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
It's actually not making any sounds. And there is one hand, and it's been the hand that has been bouncing around quite a bit anyway. That is still bouncing around, but the movement here is new. So yeah. We also have Isanji, who has offered us a few different options. Isanji will stand, put his hands together. So, friends, what we have is a need to cloak magic items so that they will be invisible to prying eyes. And what we have is, and he'll gesture over to a box that has like this giant crank system of locks that seem to encompass the entire outside. This box will hide any magical signatures, prevent anything from seeing. Now, I have some limited containment units for you to bring with you, but the problem will be to teleport and transfer outside of our Seven Sons friend would then negate the anti-magic field or just not work at all. So, in order to be able to do this well, we will have to plan how we go about capturing these and containing them before we do so and alarm any greater beings to your presence. So we have this, and like he lines up 3 different items. Like each of these have their own anti-magic signatures that will help to eliminate some amount of risk to us when we collect these things. 2 of them negate the magic completely. 1 creates a variable frequency in the magic which would disrupt its ability to be seen, but does not completely eliminate the magic.
This is a curiosity thing from Steven, but Eden might do like detect magic because I'm curious if their fields overlap at all. Like what happens in the interim? Does the anti-magic cancel the anti-magic's canceling, and therefore there's a pocket of magic?
Right now, he can't see anything there because, like, 2 of them are actually contained units. So everything that
Right.
is anti-magic would be inside. Now, the 3rd one, you could see that the frequency does disrupt what looks like the frequencies from, like, the outside of the other thing, but you wouldn't be able to see how it actually looks over an anti-magic field.
Sure.
So, like, potentially, it's not impossible, but also you could explode a planet or something, so, you know,
Or the black
that
hole?
would be more an extra dimensional space issue, but So, yes, he seems very proud of himself, and everybody's kind of keen on being able to stay hidden and whatnot, so he's quite pleased with that. If any of you need items, you let me know. We will try to do what I can to ensure that you are safe and well outfitted for what needs to happen.
About how long has this conversation been going on?
Long enough for Paul to get bored?
Yeah. Probably. Like, up to this point, it hasn't been super long, but he is going to break down each of the different areas that you guys saw and all of that. So, like, somewhere in here, we're going to get to, you know, a good 20-minute mark before people are really doing oodles of talking or doing figuring that Paul would be really involved with.
Are we still in the dining hall?
Yes.
Are there a bunch of forks? Okay.
You're just occupying yourself with the eating part.
No. Paul is looking and thinking of something.
Oh. What is he considering?
He is thinking about grabbing the forks and using them as darts because he's so bored, and so he's considering what in the room could be used as a makeshift dart.
Oh dear. You'd have a very fussy table. It might spear you back, but you know. So yes, at some point through this, the topic of okay, how do we want to divide the workload comes up. Estiel does offer to go with you to the library because he had heard that might make the most sense for you guys before. And the distribution of the rest of that workload, like, does anyone have any thoughts, any ideas for things that would be
We should go to the hell place.
Ren kind of scoffs. It's like, if I had to guess, I would say that we should probably have all hands on deck for that one.
Okay, so we should do that one first then.
Voting for not first. I feel as though we should probably get to know each other's fighting styles and the way that we handle different things before we dive into the hells.
All right, well, what's the next dangerous one? Let's do that one. The Dark Mountains, that sounds dangerous and fun. Let's do that one.
Could be.
I mean, which one are you guys wanting to do?
Good question. Do you guys...
Eden just kind of sinks himself a little bit.
see.
No choices? All right, looks like we're going to hell.
Not go to hell just yet. But yeah, I think we'll need everybody for hell.
Ren will kind of look over his shoulder to Claudius. Like, we take Billy's mom? We do have the connections. They kind of have a little aside back and forth. Like,
And Eden is just grateful that doesn't have to be him.
I mean, you remember what happened last time. Yes, I remember what happened last time. Don't have to remind me every single time. Like, there's just a little back and forth interplay. Like, well, we could do better and just said Wayland. Oh, like they both, and like nod. Like, oh, okay. So there's some discussion about them picking up Baba Yaga. So
In the silence where everybody's kind of thinking about where they want to go first, like I've lined up like a bunch of the forks, and I do that thing on the table where you slam the fork as hard as you can to try to get it to fly, and I'm like trying to measure it to try to hit into the wall, and so I'm like, and then just randomly during the middle of the lull, boom, and then just a fork goes flying in one direction.
So roll me. What kind of check would that be? That an improvised weapon check?
So a weapon with which you do not have proficiency.
Sure.
I mean,
Probably.
to be fair, I feel like you're probably pretty proficient with the fork, but this is going to be a very different application.
I don't know. Actually, I'm probably not very proficient with the force. To be fair, I don't use them very often outside of doing things like this. I would assume that this would not be a strength-based attack, but like more of like a dex-based attack. Do you think? Or
Probably, yeah.
I mean,
Especially if you're trying to do it with the finesse and aim.
Yeah. So okay. No, that's not good. That's an 8.
Oof. Well, forks go. Yeah, they go all over the place. Let's see. Let's see where that's gonna. Okay, so 4 of the forks go flailing through the air. One of them ends up kind of embedded into the side of the large purple woman's shoulder. One of them ends up on the ceiling, just hanging there. One of them ends up stuck in Arten's quills. And let's see. Let me roll a d4 and see which one of you the other one hits. Eden.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get fork attacked. All of the rest of them just kind of fan out and don't seem to hit anything. But yeah, that would do like a point of damage. The large.
Go ahead.
Oh, the large purple lady just pulls the fork out of her arm.
Oh, can I have that back?
I suppose.
Thank you. And I start putting them back.
You put it in your mouth?
No, I said I start putting it back on the table, trying to
Oh, look, blood.
to readjust the aim to get it right the next time.
But you like cleaned it off with your mouth.
No. No, I'm just collecting the forks to get him back to be like, no, I'm going to get this. I'm going to figure this out. So,
You are an odd short one.
thanks.
Is he safe?
He's mostly harmless.
And he is not a good barbarian.
He's mostly harmless to people he's not actively fighting.
That is more reasonable.
Paul has lost all interest in conversation at this point, and he is not paying attention to whatever the conversation is, and is collecting forks.
Probably for the best since they're about him. Yeah, she will look at him most of the time, just like have eyes on him.
I'm going to cast Liamon's tiny hut, and I'm gonna try to exclude as many people as I can, and include Paul, so that at least there's like a circle of protection.
Can you make the tiny hut smaller?
It does not say that I can or cannot.
Like, because if you have to go by the dimensions that it says, then there are going to be some other folks that get stuck in there with Paul.
So anybody who would like can. I actually have to be inside of it myself. So I suspect that both Paul and I are in it for sure.
Have you ever cast this before around me?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I do this as our like
okay. All right.
camp thing all the time. Yeah,
Time he's
no,
done it in a dining room.
so it's a 10-foot radius, so a 20-foot diameter. But I'm gonna try to put the both of us like right on the edge of it.
Huh. Okay. So who do you imagine that you're sitting next to?
Probably the party first and foremost. I have no idea aside from that, like who would have been dumb enough to sit next to us. Dumb
Trying
enough
to
or
think
uninformed
physics
enough.
here. You're probably going to end up with at least one person on either side. So I imagine you end up catching Eric and probably Teffin. And you probably end up picking up see if Eric was on that side. So you probably would end up picking up the hedgehog as well.
Gotcha. It is transparent for whatever it's worth, but nothing like forks flying should not be able to exit it.
Do they stick into like
into the dome itself?
Into the dome and just stay stuck in the dome?
Sure.
I suppose they could. Either that or they're going to ricochet, and that would be also very funny.
Paul is into if they stick. Like the moment Paul figures out they're just sticking in the walls now, or in the like, I guess midair.
Right.
Right. Paul is like using them to like climb.
Rappel up the invisible wall.
That's hilarious. So when you originally smacked the table trying to get the forks to fly, Ren was not expecting that and like jumped up with one of his blades ready. But realizing that it was not nearly as alarming to everybody else, kind of cooled down. But you can kind of tell, those of you who are paying attention, like, he is not amused by this like odd thing going on in the middle of the room.
So who brought their toddler to the meeting?
Pretty much. This is that sort of a vibe. He seems quite edgy about it, and even more so that now, like, Eric is in a bubble. Um, this is upsetting to him. So all of these things are going on um, at the same time that people are trying to figure out where they're going and what they're doing. And you gather that this has lit a bit of a fire under their butts. Just like, okay, let's just figure this out so that we can we can break and go. Um,
I didn't hurt any more people with forts.
I think that we would like to take the library first, and then if there is anything left, I think it would probably be a good idea to have something more stimulating in the combat sense.
I drop and I go over to you. It's like, what's the library?
It's a place with lots of books, but also lots of magical creatures and things. It stores potentially all
boring.
knowledge.
Will I get to fight something?
It is not impossible, but I do hope that will be one of the quicker things that we're going to do.
I still think we should go there.
I have a feeling we will be going there.
Yeah, we will go to
I
hell, don't worry.
anticipate,
It's a
yes.
safe bet.
Yes. That will be something where I suspect there will be many hands needed, Estelle says.
I point to Ren and be like, well, that guy seems like he's ready for a fight, so I want him on my team.
Which one?
Ren.
Correct.
Oh.
He jumped
Honestly,
out, pulled his sword out. I was like, he seems ready, so he should go with us.
he is an excellent person to have on your team for nearly everything. So while I doubt that we'll need him on board for the library, for many of the other things that might that involve any kind of combatives, I believe that he would be well worth bringing with. We might divide these groups to have different leadership available for different skill sets as they become necessary. While I would be an excellent guide if such a thing could exist in the library, I would not be very useful in situations like those in the Black Mountains or things to that effect.
Well, we have
Oh.
someone who can help lead.
Oh,
Yeah. Quimby leads us everywhere.
Quimby.
Um.
Ah.
So it is sort of my understanding, looking around, that we have essentially three groups of people, yes, and we have three boxes or three anti-magic fields.
Yes.
So with that assumption, if each group takes two items, then we meet together for the last one that covers all of our bases. So maybe it is safe to say that my group will take the library first, and then the Black Mountains.
That sounds as though it would be a good use of time. Do you have anybody with you that is well versed in the Black Mountains? Have any of you come from that area?
I am not from here, and I suspect that Paul is not either.
We can borrow from the other group. Ren might actually be a useful person in that regard. He himself is not from the Black Mountains, but he's done quite a bit of he's spent quite a bit of time there. So he would be actually quite useful in that particular space.
Eden is just grinning at Ren. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna be stuck with our group.
He's still just like mainly paying attention to Eric. But like looks over at you when you start laughing and it's just like, oh no. Like there is a definitive oh no. It's like, oh dear. Yep. Um that would make a lot of sense. Between the others, it's decided that let's see. Okay. The Well of Razvir, which you don't actually know the name of it yet, that is going to be the Old Guard. The Sphinx will be the heist party, as would be the Dragon's Horde, and then the Baba Yaga lair would go to Old Guard as well. So they get everything kind of divided amongst themselves to figure out what everything is. So with that being decided, is there anything else that we need to discuss today before we go ahead and begin this?
Is it clear where Scylla's going? Like, which group is she going to be associated with?
Me a perception check.
+6. 12. I'm not rolling real hot tonight.
No. So that's what you get for stealing the gay pirate plate. So it's kind of hard to tell. While there is a leaning towards maybe like the idea of her with the heist crew makes more visual sense somehow. There is also this kind of air of protectiveness in some of the Old Guard that seems to be like she is not actively engaging in the conversation very much, but it kind of seems like the Old Guard crew might be embracing her some too. Cassia especially seems to take an interest in some of the things that she has to say when she does speak. So
This camera doesn't stay up very well.
you know, it happens. So yeah, it's kind of hard for him to tell.
Okay.
Tix seems intrigued at the idea of having her on board, because Tix is who she is as a human.
As a not-human.
As a not-human, as a succubus. So yeah, there's definitely some interest from both sides, and it's very difficult for you to tell like where she's leaning. There's probably already been a decision made there, but you can't quite tell what it is.
That's fair.
So yeah. So yeah, is there anything that you guys bring up?
Are we missing something?
I think that covers.
You just got to figure out how we're getting the library.
And as if on cue, you hear this like squeaking sound out in the main room. Oh my gosh, I'm late! And like just peeling out in the floor, you hear a thunk up against the door. Well, I believe our representative from the Seven Sons, beyond Mr. Asanji, is arrived. And they opened the door to a very familiar face that you have seen before. Maybe not a very familiar face. You've only met her the once in one of the stores in your starting.
In our first episode, yeah.
Yeah. there is a petite witch in
From our very first.
yep, uh, in a conical witch hat with multicolored striped socks and little Mary Janes. Cute
She
little
always
girl.
told me the questionable rations.
Yep. Or
Absolutely.
questionable potions, rather.
Yep.
Yeah.
She does look a little bit more purple than she did before. Like actually purple. Um Sorry guys, I'm so sorry. She clings to a bag on her side that is a very well cared for leather bag. That has a lot of interestingly painted decorations and all of this on it. Um, really, really sorry. I tried to get here and I ended up misjudging and ending up in the middle of, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm here now. Melvin has arrived. If we need to, we've got the transit covered. We're good. God, that was a hefty run. I'm sorry.
So,
Okay.
so Paul would not realize this, but Jason thinks to himself, this person who has issues getting here and traveling problems is the person that we are all going to be trusting to send us through teleportation.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's fine. What's the worst that could happen?
Yes.
So for those of you who may not remember, because it was so long ago, this is Billy. She was the shopkeeper from our very first episode. But she said that Melvin is here. So, for whatever that's worth for you guys.
Yep.
Yep.
Paul doesn't recognize your voice.
So, okay, what'd I miss? You know what? Never mind. Sorry. I'll get caught up later. Um, yeah. So, is anybody going anywhere now?
Yeah, we're going to the stupid library.
Oh, I mean,
Not the stupid one, the regular one.
oh, okay. So not the library, but a regular library.
No. The library, just not the stupid one.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not stupid. That would,
And we're
yeah,
definitely not gonna say that again.
yeah. I wouldn't advise it. It gets a little bit finicky when you call it stupid or anything that's rude. Really, you shouldn't call things rude
It's
names.
full of books.
What?
Oh, Paul's just mumbling to himself about how bummed he is that we're going to the freaking library.
I love it.
And yet, I think Paul will be the most excited of us to see what's in the library.
Probably. There's a fair chance it's a cool freaking place.
Oh, I'm sure. But Paul's understanding is it's a place where there's a bunch of
Right.
and Paul can't read, so Paul's like, well, that's so.
That is fair. That is fair. So Estelle will like go over and give her a big hug as she comes in.
Like, okay. So, how many people am I setting up for now? What do we need to do pickup wise? All of that. Like, are you guys like seriously ready to go? What are you doing?
Do you guys
All
have
right,
things
I
up
think
in the room still?
there's 12 of us.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She starts counting people around the table.
Like we've moved more people than that before. That should be okay. Which 12?
Estelle
I
just
think
kind of
there's 6 of us going.
Oh,
Is that right?
okay.
Oh, 7. 7 of us going.
Do you need okay, do you need some time to put your stuff together or to get a plan or anything like that?
I'll have my stuff with me aside from my clothes, which I will Maybe burn.
Burn your clothes?
He
It's
had
not
a
really
very
bad.
long night.
Oh, I've had a few of those, buddy. I'm so sorry. That's a rough go. It's a real rough go.
He'll like, oh, shut up. He'll
Was
sort
it
of
a
like glance
still
over to
who?
Scylla.
Was it a still who originally was the one who got me the bottle of the liquor, the flaming liquor?
It's either that or
Took
Cal.
some. He gave you another one, but you just took the first one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in the second one, he gave me the second
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, he gave you
I'll
the
ask him.
second
I
one.
was like, hey, can I get another one of these? It's going to be really boring in the library.
Not for the trip to the library, please.
The
I will
Black
happily give
Mountains,
you more.
perhaps?
Oh, the Black Mountains, perhaps,
Okay,
perhaps.
can I have one for the Black Mountains?
Get you that arranged when you get back from the library.
All right. Well, this one, I guess this one.
Oh God. I'm glad I'll be going. I'll need a couple of things before we leave. So, Miss Billy, if you will make yourself acquainted with our new friends, we will get Melvin set up to take us shortly. I'll be right back if it is your intention that we should leave straight away and try to sort this.
I mean, were there any further plans as far as what we needed to do for the containment?
So each of us will be taking one of these things. Whoever has the frequency disruptor should be as expeditious as possible in getting to a neutral space.
What's expeditious? I can do it.
The speed with which you said that just makes me very happy. Uh, we should arrange a rendezvous point outside of outside
Anything
of the
immediately
castle.
outside of the library?
All of us together?
I just don't know. Is like what is immediately outside of the library? Is there a way that we could get back quickly once we exit the library? Since I understand we cannot teleport there.
So my intention would be, once we are dropped off nearby to the library, we'll make our way in and we will call on Billy to reopen Melvin's portal. I should explain this, shouldn't I? We have amongst us now one of the seven sons. As such, we have access to what that seven sun controls. And in this case, it is space. The seven suns, if you are unfamiliar, he kind of like looks like is this new information? Okay. They are a group of seven creatures that have developed through means we don't fully understand to embody the ideas behind several concepts of that would normally be considered constructs of our minds. In Melvin's case, he is a creature of space. He is a very friendly creature, and like you see Steel just kind of like reach out and touch Billy's bag, and just kind of like start giving it scratches.
Okay.
It is also arguably one of the most terrifying, huge, and in some ways world-threatening creatures that exists. It has the capacity to channel you through itself to any location it is familiar with. and spans great amounts of space and distance through its own dimensional plane.
The conversation that you're while you're talking about this with the Seven Sons. Now, I remember that Paul, when he first showed that watch to that dude on the airship, did he mention to Paul stuff about the Seven Sons?
I think so. You didn't know what that meant.
No,
but
I was like, oh, I heard about the Seven Sons, and then I pulled that watch out. I was like, yeah, that guy told me something about it with this thing.
Estelle kind of looks over. Oh,
Oh, that's so cool!
Billy gets really excited to see it too.
I haven't seen one of these in ages. It's a sun compass.
And you see the one where like it was spinning before is like now just like a solid whir. Where there is apparently one right there. So
Like, oh, this is amazing. And like there are some that we haven't seen in ages. I didn't know where they were, and this points those out. This is so interesting. Could I borrow this?
Would you give it back? It was a
Sure.
gift.
Oh yeah, I don't have a problem giving it back.
Yep,
I just
I
have
hated it.
to. I'd like to kind of see what I can find.
It was a gift given to you, stolen from the person who's in this castle. So
you know, it works in some strange, weird, wacky way.
she's not in the room, so it's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Yeah, this is a really cool thing. And it might help me figure out how to actually like map to some of the lost sons. All of them are supposed to have a guardian so that we can help keep track of them and keep them safe or keep other people safe from them. But there are a few that's not quite a thing for yet. So this is going to be a big handy thing. Thank you for letting me borrow it. I appreciate it.
Yep. Okay.
Uh,
But yes, Melvin is our easy travel source when he's in good health to where we need to go. So as long as we have the capacity to message Miss Billy, we can get you there. We will do what we need to do to find the equipment that we lack. And upon receiving it, we will message her and have her reopen Melvin and bring us back home.
So I suspect, I don't know, but I suspect that our trip is going to be one of the quicker of all of these. So perhaps we take the one that needs the most quick travel of the anti-magic thingies.
We have actually intercepted the thing that we wish to acquire. I think that you would probably be correct. I don't know that this would be the fastest of the options.
Pretty fast.
He is pretty fast.
Watch, and I run around in circles.
I got these new shoes. I'm so fast now.
Can we do it again?
You are actually alarmingly fast. I will give you that. It's not so much a matter of your capacity to move quickly as it is a matter of the library's capacity to move around you if it does not wish you to go a certain direction. So
Paul, we're going to be really nice to the library because it's alive and we don't want it to make this slow. We want it to make this fast so that we can go to the Black Mountains where you can kill things.
I'm always nice.
Right, maybe just don't call it stupid.
Well, I think I would.
Okay. Do we need
We're
anything
gonna be
else from
trapped
our
in there
rooms?
for forever.
Oh yeah. We're gonna die there.
You guys get
100%.
paid because you brought Paul to a library.
Yep, that's what's about to happen. Okay.
So Eric will kind of look over to you guys. Should I go? He'll be speaking directly to Thea at this point because Thea is the only person that actually knows any of the stuff that's been going on with him as of late. Would I be most useful here, or should I? He'll kind of gesture over to Ren.
I mean, you've always been useful with us, but if you want to get to know him more, we will understand that.
We will.
Hey, look, if you want to hook up, just go hook up.
I think he's coming with us to the Black Mountains. So if you want
That
to
is
go
true.
with us to the library, and then we'll grab him on our way to the Black Mountains.
You could grab him now. We can wait. We'll give you a few minutes.
I'll say my goodbyes to him for now, and we'll go and settle the library, and then he'll come with us to the Black Mountain. And you see him kind of go over and have a short conversation with Ren, and Ren will kind of pull him into one of those like man hug things.
Bro
Yeah.
hugs.
Yeah. Before Eric will turn and come back. And at this point, like, some other folks are starting to notice this too that have probably not been let into the loop. So some of the old guard and things like that, and Isanji are kind of, huh. So intrigue at the table a bit. And
I
then
missed something.
you know. And Eric will say it just like that.
As Eden like steps away for a second, he'll sort of mutter to himself like, "I think I'm very perceptive."
You would, because you keep rolling ones, so you're very positive how much you see. You're just wrong about all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I will just telepathically to Eden say, just nod your head if you want me to go check on Scylla before we leave, or if you want to go talk to her.
Oh, so actually, as Eden was stepping away, like that's the direction he was headed, and he'll be like,
No? Okay.
"Yes, no, yes." So it also looks like he's having a small seizure as he's walking.
That's amazing. So he's
But
headed
he's-
over towards Scylla?
Yeah,
Oh, she looks hella uncomfortable.
understandably, yeah. He's going to just hand her his bag, the bag of holding, and say, "Please be safe." And then he's going to turn around and walk away.
What all is in that bag? Do we need that?
Oh, probably.
I mean, there's a fair bit of stuff in there, actually. Including the rest of Eden's money. But I don't think I'm carrying anything for the party at the moment, which is good.
Yeah, that's probably solid. She's just looking at the bag, trying to figure out why the hell you'd have given it to her. Like, Hi.
So Eden is faced the wrong way to see that, but I guess Thea might not be at this point. Wait, but Thea knows it's a bag of holding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, Scylla probably knows it's a bag of holding. She just doesn't understand why you gave it to her.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Because Eden has no idea what to do at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, with that, Billy is going to like take her bag. Like, all right, buddy, you're gonna do a great job. You're gonna do fabulously. Do you remember the last time we went to the library? Gotta go see your sister. And just kind of like pets the bag and cajoles the bag a little bit. And you hear like kind of a purring happening from the bag. And she'll set it on the ground and kind of unravel a drawstring that's on it. And as the drawstring unravels, like she starts pulling little parts farther out, and you see like on the other side of the floor now, there is a very differently oriented plane that it looks like it's kind of in the middle of a main thoroughfare of a small town. So, like, if you stepped through this, you would end up falling parallel to the ground where you're coming out. So, like, she's unraveling this, and it becomes like this reasonably person-sized hole that shows you this space on the other side. She's like, "Oh, right, good buddy, you're doing a great job. Okay, so do be aware when you step through, you're going to be a little disoriented because you're going to be facing the wrong direction, and gravity's going to change on you really quick."
Geronimo!
So you shoot through, and with the gravity change, it's like for just a second you are airborne in little cannonball Paul form, and then all of a sudden, like the gravity feels like it changes, and you just whoop, as if something has kicked you through a hole, and you just pumped onto the ground.
If that's what I expected. So, Melvin is your bag. Thank you, Melvin, for your help. And I'm going to go
excellent
through
friend.
quickly. I'm gonna go through quickly because Paul's on the other side, unattended.
Can I still
Really
see
good
the
idea.
portal? Do I like see the portal from the other side, or is
Yeah,
it?
you can see that there's like another side to this at this point.
So
Yeah.
I can see everybody on the other side, like looking
Yep.
through.
Yep.
I was
Well-
like, that was cool. I jumped back.
So just jumping back through the other direction ends up yielding this like odd thing of you jump through and then fall back out because the orientation of the gravity works out so that like if you're jumping and you're not holding on to anything, you're jumping into a space where gravity is pulling you back towards the floor, and then the floor is evicting you
Yep.
parallel to the ground.
Because this is not Paul's strong suit.
To be fair, physics is not this whole place's strong suit, and we're playing with it pretty fast and loose.
I just imagine Paul just going, "Hup," jumping and trying to make it, and then coming back.
Like the Mario pose.
Yeah, like the Mario pose.
Exactly. That is precisely what happens here. Eric kind of does a tuck and roll, like a front tuck sort of a thing, because he's not totally sure how this is going to go. So he's just like, you know what? We're going to try and take this as gently as we can.
Eden probably face plants trying to get through quickly.
If you want to roll a dex save, you can.
Nah,
But you can
I'll
also just say you
faceplant.
face plant.
Said this is a pretty good, like, person-sized
Mhm.
hole. Okay. I will walk up to it. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, bag of teleportation. Thank you.
His name's Melvin.
This is
Yeah,
Melvin.
This is
Thank
Melvin.
you. Thank you, Melvin. And then I'm going to fly through
Good choice.
with
Good
my
choice.
cape
Yep.
linked.
Useful. So you're nice and graceful about it. Teffin, how you navigating this?
Um, well, I think I'm going to um, be taking all of this in and watching my friends. And I'm going to sort of just glance over at Billy, and I'm going to mutter a few incantations and cast Featherfall on myself as I step through. And I kind of see it as more like that one scene from the D&D movie where I just step through and just whoop.
Okay, that's fair and pretty cool. Yeah, it actually looks really pretty rad. Um, so well done. Well, I feel like
See, I
Steven's
half
just
expected.
dusting himself
I,
off.
I half expected the second half of his sentence about looking at everybody in the party and just saying, and then I just turn around and I just
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of thinking that too. I was like, oh,
decide I don't need this in my life anymore.
I close the bag and
like all of these people are
I
just
don't need
yeah,
this thing. It's
no,
going to be in my
no.
life anymore. I wasn't with them at the beginning. I just got landed.
these people have caused me nothing but problems.
I was told to go with them. I was not told how long.
yeah.
Fair. You see Esteel very like gracefully sit on the edge of the floor, throw his legs over the edge of the little portal hole and just sit further up. And he just very gently deposits himself feet first onto the ground. It's a very nice, like even little whip, just coming to a stand outside the portal. Thank you, Miss Billy. I'll message you when we're finished in here.
Like, you got it, bud. All right, guys. Good luck. We'll be waiting for you on the other side.
Can I try one thing first?
I mean, I guess.
Okay,
What you
I
got?
run really, really far away from the portal, and then full speed. I want to charge because I want to see how high up I can get at full speed.
You know what you could do?
Uh,
You know what you could do in addition to that? Once you jump, activate the cloak and change your mask.
Oh dear.
Your cheetah cloak and change your mask.
Oh man. Just be
I
a
mean, well,
splat
Paul
of
wouldn't
cheat
know
on the
that
ceiling.
that mass would make a difference, but
Yeah, probably not so much.
I mean, they're pretty dense.
Roll me an acrobatics. Pretty dense. I don't know, it might not change his mass that much.
That's true.
oh, that's not great. 14.
So it is not as high as Paul would like, but he does get a pretty good buildup of speed there, and there is some impressive hang time. The height's not where it's at, but the hang time increases a good bit. So it almost feels like he's just like in the air for a second before flinging back out into the street.
You should see his little gnome feet, like in mid-flight, just kicking into air.
I imagine
Okay.
this was especially funny for Billy to watch. I don't think she has ever had anybody do this with Melvin before. And so this is better than TV for her. She's thoroughly entertained by this. All right, guys, thanks. That's awesome. So they will close up that portal. And you find yourself in a pretty busy, bustling town. It's not a huge town. It seems like pretty much everything is centered on this main thoroughfare where you're currently looking the other direction. But you hear some really interesting shifting and changing from behind you that makes you turn around and see the place that is the library. This thing looks like it must be hundreds of stories high. And there is a large arboretum in one area. There's these beautiful jewel steps up like this spiral walkway. There are all of these beautiful things outside, and just stories and stories of mismatched architecture that seems to be, even as you're looking at it, morphing into different shapes of mismatched architecture. There are more large purple people, larger actually than Fern, the purple lady that was at the table with you guys, that all seem to be in violet and gold cloaks that seem to be kind of buzzing about the space once you get into the library grounds. Not huge numbers of them at a time, but they are present and kind of milling about the outsides, along with some very diminutive little creatures in different colored cloaks. You don't see any of their facial features. You just see, like, these little short, shrouded figures. There are more of those, just kind of popping in and out. And Esteele kind of looks over and gestures at the grand building. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. This is the library. This is another of the sons. And this particular one is controls time and seeks knowledge as its hobby. So
the library itself is a son?
it is. This is one of the creatures of the seven. And
Let's go get this factory. And I pull the sword and I start marching towards the library.
Perhaps hold off on the swordsmanship until we have actual reasons. Most things in the library don't wish you harm unless something terribly wrong goes awry. But that's not to mean that there won't be dangers where we might need that sword of yours. So, do be cautious.
No
The
fire,
librarians...
please.
What's that?
No fire, please.
No fire. Definitely no fire. There are a lot of librarians that if there is enough damage to a space, the library will defend itself. And the library is far more capable of defending itself than you are. So, do keep this in mind.
That's not a challenge. That is just...
Indeed. Yes. Advice to live by. So, I will greet my friends in the entryway, and we will see if we can find this. What was it here? Breastplate?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, the sword is here. The breastplate's with the Sphinx. So we'll see if we can find the sword. All right. He'll take a nice deep breath and straighten up. It's very ambassadorly, and lead you guys in through the front gates of this this space. Even the gardens are shifting as you're moving through them. They're changing character. The trees and shrubs are growing unnaturally quickly. This bunch of flowers kind of blooms by your feet in all different colors as you walk past. And once he gets into the space, opening the grand double doors that are about 2 stories tall themselves, there is a large lectern that sits right at the front door, and a very large purple giant is manning that space. Same kind of gilded tattoos as the lady that was sitting at the table with you guys, but much larger and very kind of stoic faced. It seems like their eyes can move, their mouths can move. Both rarely happen at the same time. They'll look down, and you see a look of recognition when they see Esteel's face. A friend of the library. You are welcome here. Do come in, guests. What is it you seek?
Seek the Holy Grail.
Estiel will explain that they are seeking a particular sword the from the vaults. And this kind of piques the giant's interest. We have not seen the vaults in years.
Oh, good.
I do suspect that there hasn't been nobody looking to destroy these things for years, as Cochet has been locked away for quite some time. So the need for it to be found has not been present. I am hopeful that the way will make itself clear as the library accustoms itself to our presence and understands our desires.
So having alternate desires would maybe make that less quick.
Are you having alternate desires?
I mean, no, this is the most important thing right now. I did also want to see if I could find a book that would maybe give me some information, but that's not as important. I just want to know that I'm not going to be messing things up by being here.
Oh, the library will know your goals.
That's terrifying. I like it.
What book are you thinking of?
So he doesn't have a specific book in mind. He wants information that would let him know more about what he is, what he does to other people, how he can mitigate those effects, stuff like that.
Okay. Incubi. Okay. Info about incubi. All right.
The plural of incubus.
I assume. I don't know. It sounds right.
Incubuses.
Incubuses.
Succubus, not incubus. Incubus, the band.
Well, incubus is the male and succubus is the female.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So-
plural of succubus is succubi, so it makes sense that the plural of incubus would be also incubi.
Really weird random crap to know.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
All
right.
And here we are playing D&D.
Indeed.
It comes up a couple of times. Not that I've ever used them.
Of course not. All right. Yeah, I don't think I've ever used them for anything until Steven decided he wanted to be one. So it's an interesting thing. All right. So through this space, like you can see up into the building. There are just so many rooms and shelves and whatnot that all seem to be kind of shifting and changing almost on a clock pattern. And as it does, a door orients itself behind this lectern. And the guide will, or not guide, the gentle giant who is standing there at the help desk, if you will, gestures Do mind the librarians. They are busy today. Be kind to the books. Be kind to the information. And be safe as you can.
Another note: we have somebody else in the party that might also have things that they are desiring here. Because Paul's looking for a fight.
That is true. That is true. All right. So, this is the part where I get to draw a weird little map to see how the library is orienting itself for you. And actually, I'm going to have you guys roll. Who would like to roll for the first location?
I will.
Okay.
17.
17. Oh. All right. So, when you open the door, you come upon what looks like a large, well-lit room at the top of this gigantic space. Because all of the sun is pouring in. It's a beautiful space, mainly glass-topped ceiling, like you're under a skylight. And this looks to be a storage attic. There are all kinds of bins of like different bolts and like little iron bits and pieces that you could use for various things. There
Teffin's
are
dream.
what's that?
And Teffin's
Oh,
dream.
honestly, yeah, probably. There are all kinds of interesting different types of parchment and inks, and you see like there are a lot of different leather like bindings, and there's like a press in the corner for different things. So you have stumbled your way into a storage vault. So this is definitely a place where you can imagine a lot of the maintenance crew comes and goes. As such, there are a couple of little diminutive figures in red shrouds that seem to be wandering the space and get a little bit surprised. Are they the ones in red? I think they are. Yeah. They get rather surprised by your sudden appearance and kind of start kind of shimmying off. If you think about what are the things from Star Wars? The
Oh, like the pit droids?
The Jawas.
Jawas. Yeah.
Right,
They
right, right.
they kind of feel a little Jawa-y. Skittish Jawas. That you can't quite see their faces from their little hoods. But they do kind of make Jawa-y noises. One kind of jumps and shuffles off to the side, kind of grabs a broom and holds it sort of defensively, slowly stepping away towards another doorway that's farther on. In this space, there are 4 other doorways. There are 2 against the back wall. It's a larger wall there. And then there's one on either side wall. And everything else is just stuff to high heavens.
Or
I look at a steel. So where are we going?
I suppose that this would be one of those moments where we go where the library takes us. He'll just kind of gesture to the side, and you feel things shifting as it goes. If you weren't already positive that this place is kind of fluid and non-Euclidean, you're there now.
Sure.
So let's see. He's going to gesture to the left. Who would like to
Or
roll the next location?
say for funsies while we're in this room, I'm gonna throw up a detect magic. I mean, is it just everything is just
Oh God, yes.
yeah, okay.
like, like,
You
like
are now
some of the
blinded.
the individual items maybe not so much, but like the whole place is just this aura of bizarre spectral magic. So yeah, it's like if you were to do it over the nuts and bolts and things like that, nothing would have come up really, but the ambient magic noise is quite high.
Gotcha. Okay. I figured as much. But,
I mean, you're effectively in the stomach of a giant magic creature. That's it's less gross, but that's effectively the long and short of it. You want to roll me our next bot,
Me?
Reagan?
9.
9.
9.
Ah, okay. Let's see. And then 5. All right. And then 4. Okay, so 9 is the boiler room. What was that? So you guys enter in from the left side to see this huge furnace and boiler, all kind of tucked into one corner. And this is an interesting space too, because you can see some of what is currently running things seems to be like these glowing white forms that are placed into an orb in the middle of the boiler.
And the boilers are on, like there's fire coming from the furnaces and stuff like that.
Yes, there are currently like fires in the furnaces, but they do seem like magical fires that are fueled by this orb of kind of white light. And as you enter, so I rolled for a random event here. Two librarians, two of the short little guys. What color would they be? They would be, I think, white librarians. Yes. Two of the white librarians just kind of spill in from a door behind the boilers, and they are apparently having a fist fight. You're not totally sure why. It's really hard to tell. They're just kind of squeaking at each other. But there is a fight happening amongst the librarians here.
Are they? Is it like? Are they good at the fighting, or is it like watching two people who don't know how to fight trying to have a fight?
It kind of oscillates between the two. You can tell that they have no ground game. So anytime the scuffle gets like to the ground, it's like girls pulling hair, but without hair to pull. But on the standing thing, it seems like they can actually do a decent swinging game there. What do you do with this information?
I go over there and I go, hey, guys, come on now. If you're gonna do it right. And I hand them each one of my handouts.
Estelle looks.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, Estelle looks like he's contemplating stopping this, but you can see that there is a definitive thought process in his eyes that makes him stop. And the two librarians look over at you. And grab the hand axes.
And then I go, all right, go. and then I back up.
Does Eden do anything as this is happening?
If they start swinging at each other, then yes. But until they actually like try to hurt each other in a way that will be probably permanent, no.
They do begin to swing at each other.
Tasha's hideous laughter.
Okay, and what kind of save is that?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom? Oh wow, they both rolled 7s. Yeah. You see them stop for just a second and you can see like this little bubbling laugh starting to happen under the cloaks. And pretty soon, like it becomes this like squeaky loud cacophonous just this almost laugh fight where they are laughing so hard that they drop the axes. And and like both end up kind of like falling into the floor, rolling a bit with laughter. So yeah, that's a thing.
Once we pick the next door, I'm just gonna take one of them with us and deposit it on the other side of whatever door we're going through.
So there is a door straight ahead of you, and there's also a door to the right of you. Which direction are you on?
Straight ahead, I guess.
Straight ahead?
Not have any
All
reason to
right.
go out any other direction. So,
I pick up both my hand axes.
Paul,
So-
actually, I think that was very wise of you.
Picking up the
Yeah.
hand axes?
No, giving them the hand axes. Because, like, if suddenly the stakes are raised by that much, you snap people out of stuff. Except apparently not. But, like, in theory, very wise.
I have a theory that perhaps there is something trying to regulate itself within the library. I'm not accustomed to seeing them fight like that. So that is probably why it didn't jar them back. But this is a very self-regulating space, so I believe that now that they are separated, they'll still find a way to correct whatever is corrupted here. I hope. And unless they're missing something. So, Jason, roll me a d20.
18.
18. All right. That's the planetarium.
Ooh.
Yes.
And the stars attack us.
They might. Who knows? Okay, let's see. That's a 2. Oh, nice. With a treasure pile. And 8. Oh, okay. So you enter this space that now also has a little white librarian in it. That is a huge dome. And it looks as though, even though you know that the skylight room that you were in 2 rooms back was still perfectly well lit by daylight, this looks as though you can see straight out of it. And it looks like nighttime. It looks like the night sky. And there's a system of telescopes and interesting, what's the word I'm looking for? Projectors and different things to that effect, arranged in an array in the middle of the room. And there seems to be, in the corner of a room, a box filled with different old trinkets from perhaps a long time ago, and a handful of gold coins, a few little things like that. There also seems to be a white ghostly entity that is floating in the corner. And as you enter the room, what was lit by oil lamps on the walls, a strange ghostly breeze flows through the room and extinguishes all of the candles, leaving you in darkness
Damn.
with an odd little squeaking librarian.
I don't think the librarian's going to make it. So, Danny, I'm going to have to call it for myself because I am straight up about to pass out.
You know what? It's 11:30 here. Let's leave it there. That's just fine.
Yeah, I am.
I hadn't been paying attention to the clock like I should, but I have been dying and tired too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been up late the past few nights, and so.
I have
I
been
get that.
Yeah, I've been up too late as well for different reasons, and today was a very long day, so
Okay, so I will
I
cut the
won't
recording
argue with that.
here.